citations. So when, let's just say you start your legal research in a legal encyclopedia and you're reading it and you find the section you want, you find, oh my God, this is about what I'm looking for. This is going to answer my question. This is going to describe how this is telling me how I prove intent when I've got to prove the element of intent in murder. This is fantastic. But, you know, God bless the computer age, but in that book, there's no button you can press and suddenly the case pops up. There's going to be a bunch of code, and you have to figure out what that means. So let me give you a example of a citation. You could have, I mentioned, Johnson versus Eubanks. I used that earlier. So you would have Johnson v. Eubanks, and it would either be underlined or it would be in italics. Back when I was in law school, underline was more common. Now italics is more common. Then you'll have a comma, you'll have a number, you'll have some initials, another number, comma, maybe another number, and then a year. What does all that mean? Well, at the beginning, Johnson v. Eubanks, that's the case name. So now you immediately know, okay, I've got this secondary authority, this persuasive authority, encyclopedia, but darn, it's getting me to some mandatory authority that I need. I just got to find it. So I now know the name of the case I want, Johnson v. Eubanks. Okay, then I'm just going to read you some numbers here that I've written down. 548, skip space, US, skip space 12. What does that mean? I literally had no idea. And I mean, you're doing your reading for the first day class. I haven't had legal writing yet. You don't necessarily learn this in the first day class. You might learn it in the first month. And so even for the first couple weeks of school, utterly lost. And what does this stuff mean? I don't know. My eyes would just glaze over it. And this will be a real advantage you'll have, you know, going in, knowing what all this means. The 548, the first number you come to right after the name, that's the volume number. That's the volume number where this case is. The initials, US, those are real initials you'll see. That's the reporter. All cases are kept in reporters. Whenever you see an ad for lawyers on television or you see any movie with lawyers, whatever, the books behind them that all kind of look the same and only the numbers change, those are reporters, okay? And those numbers that are changing, that's the volume number. So you now know you've got to go to 548 of the United States Reporter. US is short for United. There are a million reporters out there. I'll tell you how you find out which abbreviation means which in a second. But so I now know the reporter. So I go to that section library. You know, the US reporters are going to be in a finite area, and I know I'm going to volume 548. The number right after the US is number 12. That's the page the case starts on. So boom, you know, you in the first week can find the cases we're talking about, know what that gobbledygook means, and I guarantee you the majority of your classmates don't know. And if there's a second number, this is even better. If there's a second number after the 12, remember the 12 is where the case starts. In my example here, I put, you know, comma 36. That's the exact page in that opinion that the quote comes from, if they're exactly quoting something, or the concept of thought. So not only, you know, do you have a 50-page case in front of you, you've now been taken to the exact page. And after all that is just the year. You know, I used the example of, you know, 2010, just because I was making up a case. So all of those, you don't even need to memorize all this, but you need to understand what it means.